Hello everyone. So this is an Ari, and just want to quickly say apologies that my streams and my videos have been very sort of intermittent recently. Been very all over the place. Not really stuck to the schedule I'd like to do of like a couple of uploads a week, streaming like 4 times a week, and there's kind of a couple of reasons for that. One of the reasons, sort of game related, is this season I've tried to push for um, top 500 because a lot of the time, I say a lot of the time, every season really, I end up messing about at the beginning of the season, trying new things, and then I end up missing out on top 500 because there's just too much to make up. I leave it really late and I never make it up. Um, Usually finishing in the sort of 800 to 500 kind of mark. So I thought, right, enough's enough. This season, I'll just do a bit of grind and try and get in that spot. And it's going good so far. Had a few bad days, including yesterday playing for about 2 hours and gaining. I think I gained about 3 MMR. So yeah, there's been a couple of bad days, but all in all, it's going well. Top 500 at the moment, and I want to get a bit of grinding done today. So hopefully, be in a lot safer position. And what that's kind of resulted in is I've streamed less because I feel like on stream there's a lot more going on, and like sometimes I just want to focus and like play to the best of my ability. Um, and on stream sometimes I feel like I miss a few things because I'm focused on like if chat's going off or I'm having to explain what I'm thinking about. It gives me less time to actually think it through. Weirdly enough, so been a few less streams, and also like the YouTube stuff. I don't particularly want to just put out a video for the sake of putting out a video, because then that just drops quality and like nobody wants to watch it. What's the point of me putting something up that I don't think people are going to enjoy? So I've tried like making videos, but the deck lists are just like very standard stuff that you'll have seen a million times. So yeah, I've just left it for the past week or so, and come back for this one because I actually really do enjoy this deck, and it is a lot more interesting than the typical stuff. And the other stuff is just general real life stuff. Because I work full time, this sort of becomes almost like a second job. It's not really a job because I enjoy doing it, and I do it because I want to. I don't get income because YouTube don't have like the stats for that, and Twitch payouts are just ridiculous. So yeah, I don't make income at the moment from my content. So it's not really a job, but I do put a lot of hours into it, and I want to produce like high quality stuff. And so a lot of the time it does wear into my week. And when I've sort of worked a 40-hour week, and then I'm also like streaming for a dozen hours, 15 hours a week, and also like editing videos and things like that, it does become like a large part of my life is sort of taken up. So sometimes I don't really have the time, unfortunately. Like moving forwards, I hopefully will be able to free up a bit more time for it. But yeah, that's kind of wanted to give a bit of an explanation. Why I've disappeared, I guess. But nothing too major, just typical real life stuff. So I'll sort of get into this list and how I came about using it. So as I say, I've been jamming out this season a bit, trying to get a bit of a higher ranking, and typical stuff's come out. I've been playing a lot of Shiru because I absolutely love Shiru. Playing Rage of the Sea because Rage of the Sea is ridiculously good, and a lot of Shield Wall because Shield Wall's ridiculously good. And I didn't want to play Nilfgaard because Nilfgaard are terrible, and I just feel like I'm not very good at Syndicate. I think I need a lot more practice with Syndicate before I feel sort of comfortable bringing it on ladder, and like I'm going to make correct decisions. So monsters was like my go-to. Like I like playing monsters. I'll just try that out. And so I was running Overwhelming Hunger, and it just felt really, really bad. It just felt like a point slam semi greedy list that wasn't greedy enough to compete with other greedy lists, and also lost to control decks. So yeah, I wasn't too happy with that. I'd probably played about 35, 40 games, and I'd only gone up to about 24-20 faction MMR. So yeah, I just felt like it was like just scraping above 50% win rate, which obviously isn't great for climbing. So I wanted to try something new, but kind of shelved it. I was like, back end of the season, I'll grind out some games if I need to. I'll focus on the other three. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking I really want to play Keltullis, mainly because I actually got round to properly playing through Thronebreaker, and I'd finally got good old premium Keltullis, which is absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I wanted to play a few games with Kelly, but I tried like a load of different lists. I tried like some other people had made. I made my own list that was running. I was trying to do things like Johnny, thinking, well, if we're running loads of specials, try and win round one with the specials, but it wasn't really working out. I tried like Caranthea, maybe going for like double Kelly with the backup of like double Beast, and that was doing like okay. And I managed to come a little bit with it, but then again, it was not amazing. And then this list came out from Magpie, and I really like the direction it takes, and it seems to be doing really well. It is an incredibly toxic deck. It's horrible to play against, but it does do the job. I made like a couple of changes, nothing major, but this is basically Magpie's list, so can't take any credit for this one. But I will explain how it works. So, if you played Keltullis before, you'll understand the general game plan of get to round three, play Keltullis, limit your opponent from ever playing units, which very few decks can actually deal with because most decks run a lot of units, and being able to limit them to say like 2 or 3 units maximum is really, really good. But then the problem is always getting out of round one without getting completely obliterated. And so what Magpie came up with was double Siri, and I really, really like this. So the idea is Siri dash. You can put like a carapace onto it, and then that'll give you an extra card. So if you're going first, it kind of almost like flips the coin flip. So it's as if you're playing second in terms of like how card advantage works and like round control and things like that. And Siri is really, really good. I feel like it's a card that is very easy to misplay, and I probably will in these games if I end up playing her. Just a forewarning for that. But the general idea is if you can play Siri to get you ahead in from a turn where you're ahead, your opponent's say on even or whatever, you're kind of presenting a situation to them that you either play another card to win the round, but then I get Siri back, so I have card advantage, or you give up the round, I win, and I'm either a card up or I win on even, something like that. And so it sets up basically a lose-lose situation for your opponent. And these two combo together really nice. If you can get them off in the same round and both of their abilities go off, it's really, really difficult to kind of counterplay it in any way. And it sets up situations where your opponent wants to pass and just get out of the round, which is exactly what you want. You just want to get to that round three where Keltullis will carry you through. And then all the other stuff we're running is kind of complementary to that. So we got like again for general points, Ozreal for points, Beast for points. So you can play them like early-ish to just get you out of the round. Running things like Imler's Wrath, Thunders, Natural Selection, Heat Wave to just get rid of those big threats, because Kelly removes the smallest unit. So being able to remove a really tall unit limits your opponent's ability to get any points on the board. So say you're playing against I don't know, you're playing against Syndicate and they put Fallen Knight down, you can basically stop them relying on that for their points. And then all the other cards are kind of synergizing with having a close to unitless kind of list. So things like Pact and Adrenaline Rush, you're just looking to get a really tall Keltullis or a really tall Cave Troll and limit your opponent from ever playing anything. And then there's like Foglerts and Endrega Warriors to thin the deck, more consistently get the stuff you're looking for. And that's the general game plan with the deck. It's basically Magpie's list. As I said, I think I switched. I think he was running Tactical Advantage and I switched Crystal Skull. I just like that I just like Crystal Skull, to be honest, since the change. I run it in pretty much every list I use. I found like the Veil is really, really good. And you're basically sacrificing 1 point from tactical advantage for Veil, which I think is a very fair trade-off. And I've put in a Thor instead of a Crow's Eye. So the reason I've kind of gone for this is I kind of prefer the Veil because, sure, this is worse against like Nilfgaard, for example, but Veil operates like a pseudo purify against poison, because if a unit gets poisoned, you just put Veil on it and it can't get that second poison charge on. So it doesn't matter that it's poisoned, it can't die to poison anymore. And you get the extra point of boost, and also Purify onto Cave Troll will remove its defender tag, whereas Thor can just go on and boost it up and it still keeps defender, but now it also has Veil. And generally I just think it fits a lot nicer with what you're trying to do. As I say, it's probably worse against Nilfgaard, but considering the situation Nilfgaard's in at the moment, playing around the Nilfgaard matchup doesn't seem smart to me, because you're never, you're not often running into it on ladder, so I feel like Thor's a little bit better. But that's the list. I don't think there's too much I can explain without kind of showing it in game. It's kind of best to see it in game. I will give the forewarning that it is a little awkward to pilot. It will take some playing for you to actually figure out what you're trying to do and the best thing to do and everything like that. I definitely will make some mistakes. Like, for example, thankfully I did it off stream, but I did play Keltullis onto an empty board. So at the end of my turn, she killed herself. So that's definitely something to avoid. So yeah, you're definitely going to slip up on some stuff, but it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve, and you'll get there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Need to get some music on. I realised I got backing on. This is really good. This is a really good matchup. 2 minutes. Put some music. But yeah, I feel like in general, this is a good matchup. I'm probably going to regret saying that because I'll probably end up losing to it, but yeah, I feel like this matchup generally goes pretty good, and we have like a close to perfect hand. We want to, I mean, ideally we want, yeah, I was going to say we want to be hitting a consume for this, and I want to chuck the Thor. I want to, okay, I messed it up. I maybe mulliganed a little too aggressively there. That is something to keep in mind, but it's not the end of the world. But it does allow us to play Ciri, and this is definitely a threat for them. But I did want to mulligan quite aggressively because we are missing sort of the important stuff that I want to find. I really want to find an Anera just so we have a guaranteed Keltullis. We're not going to brick it. And, you know, things like Cave Troll again. I just want to get to them as soon as possible, basically. So yeah, I think it was worth the aggressive mulligan, but obviously sometimes it does bite you in the backside. Get some lo-fi beats on. Beautifully played by him. Fair play. That's all right there. Not ideal, but that's definitely a way to play it. So I don't mind playing Ciri here. In fairness, I probably should have played around that. I was thinking, they haven't got the removal for it, but no, really smart of them to see that interaction. So we'll see how this one goes. Alright, I'm probably not even that concerned about this. Mainly because we're not playing all that many units. I'm just considering if I just play out the Foglets, because I don't want these later on, and things like Pact and stuff are generally good later, and Ciri's not in any danger at the moment, so we'll play this out and see what they choose to do. But yeah, that was literally said in my intro thing, like, definitely going to make some misplays. And yeah, that's one within the first couple of minutes. You do need to be careful when you're playing things like Siri to just know your opponent's reach for damage. So like knowing, right, my opponent, the best they can do is 10 damage. I was thinking, yeah, it's fine because they don't have a greatsword in the graveyard, and plus kill the greatsword and give them exactly that. But this is alright. This is okay. Purely because we have Adrenaline Rush. Just keep us safe. A lot of time this don't get removed. If they have like a Mork Bag, it only goes down to 3. We can just put another Pact onto it. Okay, so that's pretty good. As I say, like, yeah, we win the round, so we don't get Siri back, but we really aren't concerned about, you know, bleeding or anything like that. We just want to get to round 3 where we can play Keltullis and just take it from there. Alright, this hand, it's not bad. Okay. Alright, so we still haven't found Keltullis, which I'm getting a bit nervous now. Definitely getting a bit nervous about it. But I'll play again. Means probably have to play a couple of cards out, but I'm looking to pass, and I don't mind this being in the graveyard. Okay. So we'll just pass here. Because their graveyard's not amazing. They do have a greatsword, but Heat Wave's a card. We'd probably end up Heat Waving a greatsword. It's also worth mentioning, winning round 1 is actually kind of good in the way like Keltullis works, because what that then results in is a round 3 where your opponent's playing first, so you then play second, so they're always kind of playing a unit before you instead of you like leading with the unit count. So if you go first, they play Cave Troll, they play a unit, you can't then play Keltullis because then you have 2 units and your Cave Troll just dies. So if they're playing first, it means then you can say play Cave Troll, they play another unit, you can play Keltullis and it's safe. I'm not sure what this guy's doing there. Ah, okay, so he's going for a leader charge. That's okay. And I won't jinx it, but yeah. If we miss it, it's not good. Definitely not good if we miss it. Good. Alright, thank God. Get rid of that. Okay, this is like perfect hand. Literally perfect hand. So Anira is probably going on like an A rush or something. We could do it onto Ozreal, but yeah, how important that is, I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't think it's really going to be that important, so yeah, this should be fine. If they go like Harold straight away, I'll probably go Kelly. If not, I'll maybe chuck down a Cave Troll. There is definitely an argument for just playing Keltullis, because now that Hjalmar's gone, they literally can't remove Keltullis. Alright, so yeah, I will play Kelly here. As 50-50 to kill the Greatsword, which actually, I don't know which I'd prefer killing. Probably just the Greatsword, because that's going to get tall, so yeah, just getting off the board would be ideal. Less of a headache if that's gone, so oh well, is what it is. We have Alzas, so we can do the sort of thing of if this goes up to like 6 or something, just Alzas it down to 1, and then because it's 1 power, Keltullis will just kill it. We probably do that now. Actually, no, we don't, because Kelly's still on the board, and we're still in this position. So we'll just go for an A rush. As long as this is safe, it's fine. And we want to get the A rush out before we play like Cave Troll. Could have held it to play like Ozreal or something like that, but I think in general it'll be fine just being in this position where Kelly's on the board, Cave Troll will come down, keep it safe. And this guy's trying not to play units, which is usually correct, but the slight issue is I have enough cards to kind of keep playing unitless. I mean, I can play unitless in theory for another three, maybe 4 turns. Cool. This is kind of the situation you usually end up with. So I can Alzas that. I think it's correct to Alzas that. Get it down to 2. I mean, the way you typically want to play this matchup is like you want to be using Rage of the Sea to kind of protect your board a little bit, you know, so the 2 power units are getting removed. I mean, they may well be going that direction, you know, playing stuff out, so like later on they can capitalize on getting the 2s on the board so their important stuff sticks, but I have enough removal that I can deal with the tall units. Okay, so they're still playing into this kind of thing. So, I was going to say whether we kill that, that's that's not smart, because then Kelly just dies. Alright, so looks like we're just throwing cards away. I haven't actually been checking what they've been throwing. So they're throwing Herkia. So like Svalbard Totem's not bad to throw down, because you know it's setting up like 2 units on the board, so it does require an answer from me, or they can start developing units onto the board. So they threw a Raiders, a Svalbard Totem, and a Herkia. Okay, so we'll just bin this. There's really no need to play it. I'm perfectly happy if we're both just binning cards. That's fine with me. All I can think is they have like a Morkvarg and they're looking to Morkvarg this down, but if that happens then we just Karathi the Greatsword and we just win. So yeah, if it's gonna go like this, right, so Gremist is gone. We can just throw away the Cave Troll. Alright, this is definitely an interesting approach they're taking. Because so if they Morkvarg this down to 8, for example, then we can leader it up to 11, and we can heat wave the Greatsword, and then like Morkvarg and 2 leader charges result in a 9 power on the board. So yeah, it looks like they're probably going for that. Morkvarg last say, get this up to 10, play out a load of 2s and a Morkvarg, but because we have heat wave, we can just heat wave Greatsword. And all works out quite nicely. The Morkvarg, yeah, feels good, man, when you read it perfectly like that. Now let's hope my maths wasn't completely stupid. This is kind of thing where even like Morkvarg isn't a threat, because you can just so one card is enough that they just discard it all, and I think that highlights how toxic this deck can be. Don't want another Skellige. I was just gonna say don't want another Skellige matchup, because it's always so strange. Like it's close to an auto win against Rage of the Sea. It's like quite bad against Patricidal Fury, and I'm not actually sure about Blaze of Glory. We'll have to be a little more careful about removal, because some removal can get very scary. I'm also not liking this hand. There's nothing overly amazing. Maybe just dropping the Thunder, or even like the Thor. I think the Thor. Alright, that's a little better. Obviously we haven't got either of the series, which really isn't good. That's interesting. That's definitely interesting. Alright, so this is definitely an interesting deck. We'll have to see what comes out. So we'll play the again. Mainly because it then kind of gives us the option to Endrake Warrior if we think this is under threat. But no, I'm definitely interested in what this deck is already. seeing a Terror of the Seas come out. Alright. But boys. How under threat is again here? I think we're definitely okay for now. Like, I mean, could use the charge off Terror of the Seas, but I think with the way this is set up, they're probably not looking to do that. So I will consume them both now. This is kind of why I wanted to be in this position, because now a Stunning Blow represents killing this. And sure, this is like terrible against a Morkbag, but we have to take our chances. Okay, this gives us some information. Alright, 5 pirates in hand. Well, a lot of pirates. A lot of pirates. So this scares me. 5 pirates come in. I mean, I could just outright kill this, but I think just hitting it down is alright for now. Like we're still like even on 6, so it's perfectly fine at the moment. And if anything super threatening comes out like that, we can like pass or Imrelith's Wrath. Do I ever want to Imlerith this? I'm trying to think what the long-term plan is. I mean, they've got another 4 pirates in there. So this does represent like 10 points, which is a little spooky. So I think we'll just wrap it, just to play it a little safe. And we can always take the round with like Squirrel into Carapace or anything like that. Okay. I feel like passing here. I think everything else is a little clumsy. And we're just getting to the point, like, they have another 4 pirates in there, and the chance of like a Morkbag is probably quite high. And a Morkbag on here would be really scary. But they played Holger, they played Terror of the Seas, assuming this is like a pirates deck, and as if on call Knickers came out, so yeah, this is definitely a good pass. They may just take the long round, we'll just have to see. If they drive past, like, we can just play Squirrel as a throwaway card. It's unfortunate that Siri won't be too good, but we have it Kelly, so we can't complain too much. Siri's good if they play into this round. Definitely really good if they play in. Okay.
Give us all you got.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what this deck is. I really like the idea. So playing Siri here is really good, because it's unlikely they can remove this, and if they don't, wow. So yeah, that's kind of the threat that Siri poses, like, especially in a position like this where they went down to 6. I'm still on 7 and I play Siri, and it's basically a situation of, look, you either pass now, you basically have 3 options. You either remove Siri, you pass now and go in a card down, or you don't pass, Siri lives, and I go in 2 cards up. So yeah, it's definitely a... Yeah, that was enough to get the forfeit. I'll probably include this one in the video as a little highlight of what I can do. Who's it going to be for the last game? I've had like 2 good wins. Oh, it's the mirror. I mean, I guess it's good for content to teach how you play the mirror. So I guess it's not all bad. This is a hand for the mirror though, definitely. Okay, this is like the perfect hand for the mirror. I mean, we could drop the Osro, but I don't want to draw the other Fogler. So, play the again, because we want to heat wave their Siri Dash, but we don't want our Siri Dash to get heat wave. So if we can give them a little heat wave bit, that would be ideal. Okay.
and save me some time.
Are they boosting it? Okay. Yeah, so we heat wave that anyway. Really, because there's no way for us to deal with that without Imler's Wrath, which is another card I would have liked to have seen. It's okay. If they have an Imler's Wrath, that's really bad. But every other choice is really bad, so yeah, I probably don't want to play into that situation. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Suggest they're probably not going to try and remove that. I think I'll play my Siri now. If this gets a heat wave, fair enough. Yeah. Alright, so they know what they're doing, if nothing else. Doesn't mean we're safe to do this now, because tall removal... I mean, they do have tall removal in the way of Imler's Wrath, but... what can you do? What can you do? So, I think there's Siri here.
Save me some time.
Now, Imler's Wrath does remove this. And if they do that, I'd probably just pass. Because then we're going in even. The Foglet becomes like super awkward. Because they then have like a dead Foglet in deck. Alright, I really like this. Because this is now out of Wrath range. Okay. Yeah, this just puts us out of the beast taking the round. Right, so we'll pass now. We could play Osrol. I think I do want to push this round a little bit. Because winning the round would be ideal. Because if we win the round, then their Siri becomes irrelevant. Okay, good. Good. So the situation it has sort of set up is like they can't win the round, and then like round 2 play Siri, which means like I have to remove it and get points on the board, which would be a little clumsy. So it's going to be a case of who can get the taller Kelly, I would imagine. We need to find Cave Troll. And that's definitely not a hand. Definitely not a hand. So we want to find the Beast, Imler's Wrath, Cave Troll. What they've banished. It's fine. We weren't planning to play Siri again, so that's fine. If we have Squirrel, getting rid of his again isn't too terrible, to be honest. So throw that, and this hand is just god awful. So we miss. I mean, I'm 90% sure this is a loss just because we've missed the Beast, because the Beast is going to be needed if we are to stand any chance. So yeah, that's going to be a problem. But best thing we can do is just play the Squirrel. And we'll try and set up so they can't play Kelly. Front row anyway. Okay. So yeah, we'll just pile on here. But a lot of the time, this isn't enough. Yeah. We could boost this to 8. I have a feeling they missed Imlerus Wrath, because I think if they had it, they would have played it. And 8's out the range without Wrath. Yeah. I'm just playing the seesaw game with this unit then. But I imagine I probably don't win this one. Unlikely that this is a win. Unless they just throw like this. They're actually throwing. Yeah, because you don't need to do that. You can just play your Keltullis range row. Alright, so it's not quite enough, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so in conclusion, the mirror is very difficult if you don't hit any of your good cards.